Okay, we're going to have a little look now and see how rulers can help us as well. So I'm going to move my page by holding down using the space bar. Now my arch that I'm going to draw next, I can't quite see it all, so I'm going to zoom out a little bit using Control minus. But I want to be able to draw this arc. So I'm going to basically switch on something called rulers. Now when rulers come up, you can see along the top and down the side here I've got rulers that measure out. But what I can do is I can drag my own ruler and put that guideline. So I'm going to line that one up with the bottom, and you can see straight away there the bottom of this one and the bottom of that one is a gap. So I didn't draw it that accurately when I did it by hand. I'm going to drag out some other guidelines. Now if you've got information switched on, you can see as you drag these things about, when you position them it tells you kind of where they are and how far out they are and so on. So if you wanted to, you could choose this tool and you could click on them and you could move them around again, and you see the difference up here when you do that. So you can actually help yourself to make it more accurate. I'm just going to do it by eye though. We'll see what it looks like. So put one there, and I might just grab one and put it pretty much where I think the middle is, which looks to me about there. So I've got these guidelines on there. In fact, I'm going to put guidelines. Let's go for it. I'll put one there and I'll put one there as well. Now what this will allow me to do is to lock my drawing points to these kind of cross sections. So I'm going to choose my pen tool. I'm going to switch on to make sure I can see the colour rather than it being empty. It's 1 point's fine. So I'm going to start off in this corner here, put my anchor down there, and right in that corner there I'm going to come across to this point, come to the bottom one here, come across to this point, and finally come to there. So it doesn't look anything like my arc, but as we did last time, I'm going to hold down over here, convert my anchor point, and this top anchor point now I'm going to grab and drag, and you can see when the handles come on now that I can actually start to turn that into a curve. I can do the same on this one. Drag, whoops, you can see that's gone the wrong way, so I'll put it the other way, and that's a slightly different angled curve, and there's my arc left on there. Now if I don't want my rulers anymore, I can switch my view of my rulers back off, or I can even turn them off and say get rid of them, view, and I'll say guides, clear guides, and they're all gone. Okay, so I'm left with that shape. I can still go back and edit, but I can also do like I did before and add colour to it. But what I might do this time, I might select the whole thing. Now like we did last time, we could put colour in. What we could do this time is we could put a gradient fill into it instead. So if we open up the gradient panel, clicking on this one here puts a gradient on there, but they're not the colours I want to use. So what I could do is I could choose by double clicking here and go in. It's just off the screen for you, but I can choose some colours. Let's do a yellow one this end, and we'll do another colour this end, maybe blue. Okay, and if I move my sliders around, this top diamond here or these ones here, it changes the amount of the gradient. Type over here, I can do lots of other things with it. So if I want to make it go the other way or so on, I can do lots of things that experiment with gradients. So I can put gradient fills into these objects as well if I choose to. Okay, so we're back to the original one now. You've seen how I've created these various shapes. The only thing you haven't seen is how I've done this text, and basically it's exactly the same as you've seen in the text video. I've drawn myself a little pathway using the pencil tool, and then I've used this feature here which says type onto a path, clicked onto the path, and then typed in the words Gold Coast 2018, and then I've done another one underneath the same. When you've finished your logo and you're happy with it, now so all along when we should have been saving this, we should have been using Save As and choosing this Adobe Illustrator AI file. So that's an Adobe Illustrator project file, and that allows you to go back and edit everything. However, once you've finished completely, you want to do what's called an export. So you go File and Export, and this time you're choosing a PNG. So if you choose a PNG, I'll put a 2 on the end of here so I get a newer version of it. You choose PNG, it allows you to have the background as transparent. So you can see here, background color transparent. This is in the preview window what it looks like. I'm staying with a 300 ppi to click OK, and that will have saved it for me. Okay, the one thing I didn't show you then is the proportions of mine. On this one you can see it only just fills up the artboard, and I haven't got any extra artboard, but on the practice one it was much smaller in the middle. So all you need to do is come into the one that says Artboard Tool, choose Artboard Tool, so this is before you do your export, and you drag down and you basically just make your artboard a more convenient size. So now mine's not finished, so I haven't put the text on this one, but if I just wanted it to be that big, I would just choose that. When I click off it, the artboard remains at that size, so when I export, that will be the size of my image. Okay, the one we have done, the one I have exported, let me just show you how that works with something else now. So if I open up Publisher, there's a Publisher file. I'm just going to actually, in Publisher, I'm just going to insert a coloured shape, just to give you an idea of how this thing looks like when it's transparent. So there's a blue background. I'm going to say Insert Picture. Here's the one that I've just exported, and I'm going to insert that. And you can see now that the transparency, I can shift click that, that's my logo. I can move my logo around, I can resize my logo, I can do what I want with that logo now because it's a transparent PNG file. Okay, good luck.